we got some more information. There was a modcast where some questions were answered. Not a lot of them have to do with new useful information, but one of the big ones is the access to fairy rings. A lot of these we can't use. Actually, not a single one of them, except for like the planes, the different planes we can go to. So an example is like the Abyssal area, the other realms. So this is going to be a good way to get yourself some talismans. They don't drop a lot of pure essence, so it's not going to be a good source for that. But the abyssal demons, if you're able to use Vanica or Chaldar to get yourself up to 85 Slayer, you can get yourself an abyssal whip. Good luck with that abyssal dagger. That's not going to happen. But got ourselves a rune Medhelm, rune Shade Body. Um, Not too much else notable on this list. Of course, their rare drop table. More about that in a little bit, but yeah, so it's just nice that we can get something better than Dragon in the first area. So Abyssal area, nice for that, I guess. You can get all your talismans and rune pouches. Scroll down a little bit further, we'll find our next area. We get to the Enchanted Valley. So if you don't know about the tree spirits, this is actually I wouldn't call it a common Iron Man thing to do, especially with the woodcutting guild now, but it's a 1 in 32 drop of a rune axe and also a 1 in 4 for 22 nature runes. Now we got a decent drop rate for snapdragons, but I'm gonna guess no one's gonna stay past their rune axe. They've got seed drops. I don't know why the knife is on here. It's just kind of funny, I guess. And then rare drop table. But the important thing is that rune axe and by the time you get that rune axe, you might get 8 drops of the 22 nature runes. Yeah, that's like 170 nature runes. So, the odds of getting the rune axe might play in your favor to get a nice little stack of nats. So tree spirits are definitely worth doing. You just show up and try to chop a tree, and just like when you're trying to make a Draymond staff, a spirit will spawn. You can safe spot them too, so it's just nice to bring Fire Strike. Next area, the Cosmic Entity Plane. Um, in the notes I just wrote down here, this is for the aesthetic. There's nothing to do here. It's just, I don't know, it's one of the cooler places in RuneScape. There's all this stuff floating around. It's used in a quest, Fairy Tale too, but nothing for us to really do there except for maybe, use it as a backdrop to record a video. Abyssal Nexus, if you can kill Sire. With the gear we have, I don't know if this is worth it. I've never really spent much time killing Abyssal Sire just because it doesn't have the best drops. But for an Iron Man, it's actually not too bad. It's going to have the best drops we have access to right at the start of the game. But I don't know if we're going to have an easy time killing this. It does drop unsired, and unsired can get us the Abyssal Bludgeon or the Abyssal Daggers, or the Abyssal Whip as well. Um, it's going to be hard. You don't have the multi-target spells like barrages and bursts, so it makes the little abysslings, abyssal leeches at the end, whatever you call them, really, really difficult to deal with. And the last one that I think's actually, yeah, probably tied for most important with the abyssal demons is the Gorax plane. Let's take a look at this ridiculous drop table. So I'm gonna go to Gorax, and if I scroll down a bit, they always hit the gem drop table. So when you're in the Gorax plane, they always hit this table. Now, you can get a nothing drop half the time, but that one half the time, when you equip a Ring of Wealth, is actually split between all of the other drops, basically. So if we look down here, 1 in 325 for a D Spear, 1 in 244 for a Shield left half. So it's your best opportunity to get this stuff. Diamonds are pretty common. Halves of keys are pretty common. But these rare drop table things, it's probably going to be the easiest way to get them in the entire league. You can also get rune chain bodies here. Nothing too special about that. I'm not really worried about the bronze dagger poison because Anku's and the Stronghold of Security drop weapon poison. And I mean that's about it, but that should be impressive enough to get you coming here. So the Gorax are actually a crazy good way to do it. There's a picture of a safe spot if we look on the wiki. Basically, any of your typical safe spot rules work here. They have a really long aggro range, so they're kind of hard to get safe spotted, but there's a few walls that are just better at it than others. Now, the one really important thing to note here is that they use a typeless attack, which means your protection prayers don't work. So if you're going to come here and do this, don't depend on just hitting 43 prayer and being able to sit here for a while. You're actually going to need to safe spot them if you want to stay for any extended period of time. But yeah, that seems to be what the fairy rings can do for us. So hopefully it gave you some ideas. I know Gorax are going to be one of the things I try to get to. Uh, yeah, let me know if you have any other ideas.